Yes. Great. We are live finally. Hello, people. How are you all doing? So let's just take it slow. Maybe we have to wait for a couple of minutes so that others could join meanwhile. And we have few slides before we get started with our beautiful speaker today. And as you all know, it's a warm welcome from entire Synapse QA family. We would love to have you as part of this beautiful webinar on the topic of navigating imposter syndrome lessons that I learned from Harry Potter. That's quite interesting, right? Because we all are fans of Harry Potter, but we might not have thought this sort of analogy or metaphor, right? So today, our speaker will demystify this topic for us. And a little bit about Synapse QA. As you all know, we are here to learn, share, and grow together as a family. And more about us, as you all know, it's a community driven space, like a bunch of people who think alike together, even it is crazy, productive. We have people who are all thinking alike together. And we are into existence from 2020. And we have been helping multiple testers all over the globe to just come out of their comfort zone and build their portfolios. And we have a team where we are actually trying to beautify the existing software quality into the current modern technology. As we all know, like the trends of software testing is keep on changing, right? That is something that we couldn't stop. And we have hosted so far 6 global events, and we have done panel discussions, we have done hands-on workshops, meetups, and parallel learning series, teller of tales, blockcast, study notes, and whatnot. And as you know, the webinar series. And we have been a community partner for 6 global testing conferences for now, and we strive continuously to empower the community with innovative ideas that could bring change, not only for into the field of software testing, also for software testers. And our values, we strongly believe that it's about community, right? We all talk so much about community, but when it comes to Synapse, we really treat people as a heart of our community. And we wanted to have a better testing space because we, as we all know, like testers deserve a better place in this world, right? And we empower testers so that they can come out of their comfort zone and they can just fly out with colors like butterflies. And our vision, as you all know, we wanted to act as a launch pad where we have many talents. As we all know, like many people have hidden talents, right? And during COVID, I believe like COVID has many downsides, I know, but there are some beautiful sides also to COVID that which we have to admit for sure. Many people have started finding their old hobbies or something like that, right? So Synapse was also similarly started by the same time of COVID, like around 2020. Our founder Nitin was thinking about the same. Maybe it was just a coincidence. So that was the time that we started, and we started transforming all the content and anything related to software testing and software testers, which is all openly available for everyone. And our mission, of course, it's about like creating, redefining the creative ways of knowledge sharing. As we all know, we are doing multiple ways of knowledge sharing, right? It's about conferences or workshops or whatever that you can name it. And we are doing it, we are trying to do in an innovative way so that our testing community is being so much advantageous about it. And yes, so what makes us unique? I know like there are a lot of communities, and every community, it's not about competition, right? Whatever community is coming, even tomorrow, a new one can come in or they can pop in, but because it's all about people, right? And so we have two things here. So when you talk about Synapse, it's about people and it's about community. So for people, we are focusing on three things: that it's about growth, confidence, and self belief. And when it comes to community, it's always about innovation, uniqueness, and some solutions. And it's just a detailed journey of ours. So when we started, it was around March 2020. So that is where we launched Synapse QA. And then in 2020 of December, we had Super Reads. So maybe it's a kind of write-a-thon or kind of blogathon. You might have heard about it, a similar word. So what it is all about, it's just a first kind of global write-a-thon where we were just asking people to submit their blogs, and we were trying to filter out. It's a kind of blogathon competition, but we had top 12 being selected, and we were being just given opportunity. And the beauty of this event is like, after this kind of events that we are being done, the testers who were being part of those events, right, they started getting more visibility. For example, if you talk about write-a-thon, people who participated in that started writing their own blogs and even guest blogs for some other software testing product companies also. They started writing. And when it comes to about March 2021, we had a RISE, which is an anthology that we celebrated all the women leaders, testing leaders specifically across the globe. And in June 2021, of course, we had a new series, which we call it as APIs Unleashed. It's a kind of parallel learning series. And then we had Teller of Tales Blockcast, podcast, but it's about Blockcast. We definitely want you all to check out all these in our website. And in December 2021, of course, it was similar to Super Reads last year. So we had another Super Reads in 2021. It's again a write-a-thon. And in 2022, we had the Super Voice, which is one of our greatest event, and an event which is very close to heart for all of the synapse, because people who participated in the Super Voice have really tried something which is out of their comfort zone, and they are right now international speakers. That is something which we are so proud of doing, right? So that is what is the ultimate goal of this community, right? We want people to come out of their comfort zone, and we are instruments in their journey. That's it. We're just instruments. It doesn't mean that we are cultivating the talents. It's like all testers have inbuilt talent or hidden talent. We're just helping them to come out of it, the comfort zone, and they have to just try, which is really uncomfortable for the few days, and then they are finally mastering it and they are becoming a pro. Okay. And we are still counting. You can just keep our watch our space for more upcoming events. So these are our some past hit events which we did in over LinkedIn or through our websites. And this is our team. As you know, like, we have set of founder, like our founder is Nitin, and Amala is our co-founder, and we have list of core members, and also we have some community ambassadors. And you might ask me, like, what is the space? So you will get to know the community champ. We'll discuss more when we close out this session. Okay. And yeah, I think it's pretty much, and I know that you're all waiting to hear from our speaker. So it's time to introduce our speaker, Udita Sharma. And you know that the topic is something which is very much needed right now for everyone, including me. Our speaker is Udita, and she has been working in the IT industry for more than 11 years by now. She started her journey as a software developer and now working as a test manager. That's interesting, right? Multidisciplinary experience has helped her to learn from different perspectives and improve as a quality engineer. She considers herself not only responsible for the quality of the product, but also for the quality of the whole process, right? It's a holistic one. And the satisfaction of her team members. See, even she cares more about people. As quality engineers, she believes that we represent our users, right? We are the users finally. However, it is necessary to focus on user centric strategies and test ideas. She loves learning new things and equally passionate about sharing her learning. That's why she is here with us today. And it's a honor to have you here, Udita. Welcome to our webinar.
Thanks a lot,
Hello.
Priscilla. Lovely to be here. I mean, the ideologies, the core principles that you just mentioned for Synapse fit with this topic. That's why I'm even more glad to present this topic. And thanks a lot to Nitin as well for giving me this opportunity and a platform that I can create this connect and openly talk about imposter syndrome today.
Thank you. Thank you. Now the stage is all yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, welcome to the webinar. Hello, my dear friends, the colleagues, Harry Potter fans, definitely, and mental health enthusiasts. Thanks a lot for taking some time out for your mental fitness and joining my talk today. I think Priscilla has already introduced me. I'm Udita. I'm working at Accenture as a test manager and, more importantly, as a mental health ally. So, because you have joined this session, I will let you all in my little secret. I have recently read Harry Potter books. Whoever Harry Potter fans are in this call, they might judge me and they will be like, huh, now? I've not read them as an 11-year-old, but now when I have read them a couple of times as an adult, I had a very different new perspective in reading them. I think it might be a little hard for a true Potter fan to see a link between a psychological syndrome with one of our favorite heroic character. But I believe what is the harm in learning from the stories we have read while growing up, right? Coming from India, we have our own mythological stories with a moral that teaches us extreme set of values. So now, before we start, as we are talking about a psychological syndrome, I would like to start my presentation today with a small mindfulness activity. I might need your help, Priscilla. You guys might be coming here from a hectic meeting or not having a great day. Or I don't know, a busy day with full of meetings one after the other, and you did not get any opportunity to just relax, sit back, and think about what's happening. So, this is the opportunity for us. Try not to think about anything else. Give full attention to your mood and what is happening around you. Most importantly, how does that make you feel? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad, thankful, tired? I don't know, not motivated, confused? You don't have to choose from these emotions. What we want to do with this activity is to take a step back and focus on how we are feeling. And only then I think we will be able to address our feelings, because until we don't know what the problem is, we can't address it. We can't fight it back. um, I need your help, Priscilla. I think I won't proceed until at least a couple of people from the audience, from the participants, have given you, I don't know, how they are feeling, smiley or something. And I
Sure,
wait for a
Udita.
thumbs up from your side, and then I proceed, because I want my audience to be here with me before I move on.
Sure, 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 sure. I believe they're so keen, and yeah. So if you got Udita's point that she wanted to know how you're all feeling today, because this session is more about like how you feel, and she really cares about your mental health, right? So she wanted to know how you're feeling, and no judgments here. Nobody's going to be judging you,
Exactly.
because if you're sad, there should be some reason, and if you're tired, that's going to be some reason, and if you feel appreciated, of course, you have some good people around you. So there's a reason behind every feeling. So just go ahead and type how you're feeling today, and maybe let's pass
Right.
on
Give us
to
a
Dita.
smiley. I mean, nothing more. It's just that we are trying to create a safe space between us. It should not be one directional interaction. It should be two ways.
Okay, great, great. I'm getting some responses. Yes,
Oh,
Nitin
good.
is feeling very
Good.
happy. Of course, yeah, Nitin. We are so happy, and we could feel your happiness too. And Mahati is telling it's tired because yeah, it's closing time, and still she has some meetings to attend. Because yeah, we understand that it goes that way, and that's a life of an IT professional, as we all know. And Dr. Ing Yashodhan, thank you. He's feeling very positive. Thank you so much. Yeah, that seems so positive, and maybe that gives us a great feeling that to be positive as well. And Savita is feeling very happy about it, and Nishita is just putting a very great blushing smiley. I feel she's also
Uh-huh.
meaning about happiness. Yeah, I think this goes this way. Yeah,
Okay, then at least we have some responses, and I believe then people are listening to me, and I'm not talking to myself itself. So basically, talking about addressing our feelings, right? To address them, we have to first understand them. What is exactly imposter syndrome? So, it is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishment, find it hard to accept compliments, and despite what level of external evidence of their competence they are given, they remain convinced that they do not deserve all what they have achieved, and attribute their achievements to luck. So basically, their success, whatever they are achieving, they just attribute it to luck. attribute everything to luck. They always have internal fear of being exposed and as a fraud. And I don't like this word because, fraud is a very negative terminology. But as soon as I've read the definition, I could instantly relate to it. I mean, I felt like this almost every time when I try to step out of my comfort zone, or even when I come back to work from holidays. There are initial days where I think I don't belong. I don't belong here. What am I doing? Am I doing everything correctly? Do I still know how to do it? Especially when I come back from India, I think in my mind, I always have a feeling that I have forgotten all the German that I knew before going on holidays. And that feeling of imposter is always in my mind. At first, this sounded like a very bad thing to me, and it caused me more anxiety about why am I feeling like this? Is it just me who's feeling like this? Or I started beating myself more. But according to a study, people do experience it constantly. 70% of us have felt it at some point of time in our lives. I agree, I don't feel it constantly. This experience is not that whole day I have a feeling of an imposter, but it comes and goes. So I believe that if you've joined this call and also some point of your time, of your lifetime, you have felt it like this. So many of us from the audience, I believe, might have felt this way as well. This was for me very important to know that this feeling that I have is not uncommon, that there are other people who feel it too. And I thought maybe if I can talk about it, or if we can talk about it more openly, we will only help each other. Why do we need to address it? I mean, you might ask me, why am I here? Why are we talking about this topic? How does it impact us? So I've seen for some people, imposter syndrome can fuel as a motivation, but this usually comes at a cost of experiencing constant anxiety. You might over prepare, or I always over prepare or work much harder than necessary. For instance, to make sure nobody finds out that I'm less prepared or I'm a fraud. This increases stress for me. This is a vicious cycle in which I think that the only reason I'm doing something well is because I was lucky or I'm lucky. And this undervalues my own ability and it diminishes my confidence. Because of this imposter syndrome, it's often it does not have any outward signs of struggle. This makes it even more important to recognize what's going on internally and take steps to address these feelings. Otherwise, your feeling of incompetence may prevent you from reaching out your full potential, or maybe pursuing a professional goal that might actually be right for you. Because you are self-doubting yourself, you will always undersell yourself, which could lead to more regret and which could lead to more negative self-talk. You see how it can be a vicious circle. To avoid that low self-esteem and anxiety, we have to take some steps towards it, right? Okay, before I go into how, what, why, let us try to understand the definition of imposter syndrome with an analogy and check if you struggle with an imposter syndrome as well. So, the most famous fictional character who has felt it 100% of the time is, and I'm not giving any points for guessing because I have myself mentioned Harry Potter in my title, myself, no points for guessing, but the most famous fictional character who has felt it 100% of the time during the movies or the books is Harry Potter. I promise the geek in me will try to freshen up few Potter memories for you today. Trust me, there are so many instances throughout the series that Harry Potter fits exactly to the definition of imposter syndrome. You don't believe me? I can really prove it. Harry was facing it almost throughout the series. For this presentation, I consciously linked imposter syndrome with Harry Potter. You might ask me why. Um, Very simple reason is because I learned from it. Why not? And then also the word imposter in my mind feels something very negative. As I told you, right? A word fraud, it feels very negative to me. It is extremely important for me to normalize this feeling for myself and for others. and make sure that we understand that it is okay to feel like this. Even the people, the character, the superheroes we admire feel it. So we are not alone in this. The first part of the definition, going back to the definition, the first part of the definition was is to doubt your own accomplishments, right? I'm sure all of us remember this scene in which Harry Potter kills a basilisk in Chambers of Secret, but gets badly hurt at the end. And he has a scar, and the fox, the phoenix from Dumbledore, that fox comes to him, and the instant reaction of Harry was, "You were brilliant, Fox, and I wasn't quick enough." Come on. Even after killing the huge snake, he's not able to appreciate himself. In what world it is not cool to fight a snake and kill it? You remember Malfoy, right? He would have been bragging about it all the time. As a matter of fact, I will be bragging about it constantly. I mean, I've just killed a giant snake. Harry fights Voldemort one on one many a times, and most of the time he has given credit completely to his wand. He accepted himself that he cannot fight with his own wand after it is broken in deadly hollows. That is how little credit he gives himself. The second part of the definition was finding it hard to accept compliments. I'm sure you guys remember the very cute meeting between Dobby and Harry when Dobby meets Harry for the first time, and he says that he has heard of his greatness. And Harry, on the other hand, cannot accept the compliment about his kindness. He could be good with others, right? Have you ever received compliments and thought to yourself, "Oh, I did not do anything to accept them," or "I don't deserve them at all"? Why? I mean, this is biggest sign that we're not able to accept the compliments that people are giving us. We don't find that goodness in ourselves. Attributing success to luck. He fought, as I told you, right? He fought Voldemort multiple times. He has learned to create a Patronus charm. He fought with hundreds of Dementors, but still he attributes his success to luck. However hard he has worked for it, still he attributes his success to luck. There is a scene in Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix where Ron, Hermione, and the whole gang, so the Harry Potter gang, Luna Lovegood, everyone, they're trying to create a Dumbledore's army to fight against Voldemort. They're trying to convince Harry of all of his accomplishments, that remember, Harry, you fought with Dementors, remember, Harry, you have fought with Voldemort. But he thinks that whatever he has achieved is not due to his hard work, but rather because he was always lucky. He himself says that, "I don't know half of the time what I was doing, I was just lucky." That's the biggest sign to look in yourself as well. If you keep on reiterating that sentence in your mind, that "I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just lucky," this is not a nice feeling. Why do I feel this way? Why do we feel this way? Let us use Harry again as an analogy, right? Harry Potter was a boy who was ignored and overlooked until the age of 11. He was never appreciated, and suddenly overnight he enters a world where he's famous, he's admired, he's appreciated by everybody. Remember the Hagrid scene with Harry Potter when Hagrid enters to pick up Harry and says, "Harry, you are a wizard." And Harry has a very innocent response to that, and he says, "I'm a what? No, you have made a mistake. I can't be a wizard. I'm just Harry." We, as a reader audience, we know that Harry deserves credit for the things that he has done, but he himself, in his own head, he does not feel the same. Most of the time, there is a reason if person feels this way. In case of Harry Potter, from the very first day, it is settled in his mind that he has nothing to do with the reason why he's so famous or the reason why he gets so much importance. People recognize Harry Potter because he was the boy who lived, for which in his mind he has a very little role to play. He believes that other around him have an overinflated view of his capabilities, and he has a fear that he will let everybody down based on the expectations people have from him. So I mean, he he has so many people around him who thinks so highly of him that he is nervous. He has a fear that he will not live up to those expectations that people have from him. Why do we feel like an imposter sometimes? These were very few examples from Harry Potter series, but Harry feels this way almost all the time. Why are we discussing these examples? Isn't there a Harry Potter in all of us? Motivation behind discussing all this is to understand that we, as a third person reader, viewer, we know that how worthy Harry is, but Harry does not give himself that due credit. We do this to ourselves many a times. At those moments we need a third person, a friend, I don't know, a mentor, a coach, who can sometimes tell us that we are worthy of what we are getting. Stating the fact that Harry is rather dealing with imposter syndrome, but aren't these few characteristics makes him unique or different from others around him? It's true. Harry constantly had helps from people around him. If you are a Harry Potter fan and I'm giving all the credit to Harry, you might be judging me. I mean, I get you. Hermione, Ron, Fox, he couldn't have fought the basilisk if Fox hadn't brought the sword with her. But what he doesn't realize or appreciate is after that initial help, it was all him. He had that confidence and strength to fight against a snake. Right before he cast a Patronus in Prisoners of Azkaban to save Sirius and himself, to fly away the Dementors, he was so sure that he could not do it himself that he imagined that his dead father would come and do it for him. That is how little credit he's giving himself. Without Ron, Harry couldn't have played the chess, yes, in Philosopher's Stone, but it was his selflessness that the stone appeared to him. Last but not the least, I know I get this feeling. Without Hermione, Harry and Ron maybe could have died the first year itself. But I mean, come on, after that initial help, he always took up the challenge. Isn't there a little Harry Potter in all of us who could not get around the fact that he's good, deserves all the praises, and definitely knows what he's doing? Initial help, it's fine. I mean, I taking a step back from this analogy, I gave my first presentation in an international conference in 2017. I got some genuinely good feedback. Um, Humbly, I accept it, but I was not sure that was it just my first time, beginner's luck, that I got accepted and got a good feedback. Just to prove myself, I applied year after year to make sure that I'm able to do it again and again. And it was not just a stroke of luck that I got selected in a conference. Just to prove myself, just to calm my mind down, I had to do it. I had to go through that anxiety again and again. It can trigger in us in different scenarios. For example, I mentioned one. It trigger this imposter syndrome is also triggered in me as soon as I joined back work after my holidays. So imagine, for example, if you are a perfectionist, or you have a perfectionist traits, unless you are able to absolutely do something perfectly, you will keep on thinking that you could have done something better. Sometimes we have experts in the field and they feel like an imposter because 9 out of 10 questions they answered correctly, but if they couldn't answer one question, they just start building it in their head that they don't know about this particular subject. um, I feel it when I have to ask for help to do some basic tasks from my team members. Since I couldn't go since I couldn't do that on my own, couldn't get there on my own, I question my competence and abilities. When we go through this transition or a change, or I don't know, you might feel it if you clear a very good interview, you start a new job, and then in that transition phase, you always question yourself. Was this a smart decision? I was in my comfort zone, and why did I do it? You might have a big presentation coming up, an important meeting, and you ask yourself, am I even the right person to be in this meeting, or am I the right person to be talking about this topic? What if I can't justify it? Or what if people ask me difficult questions and I'm not able to answer it? Do I have enough knowledge about it? In these situations, we have to learn how to fight against our inner Voldemort. Trust me, it's not easy. It's easier said than done, but I will give you some tips that helped me. I'm going to share different things that worked for me. um, if they if you like them, you can definitely take them with you. So first and foremost, I'm reiterating myself. I'm reiterating what Priscilla said. We cannot fight something until we know what it is and accept it. It is very important to recognize what and why are we facing something. Secondly, to know that we are not alone. Emma Watson, our very own Hermione, she says in one of her interviews and shares her own experience with imposter syndrome. I mean, when I heard that, I thought, oh, she's Hermione. She has played such a nice role. She's doing so many good movies, and still, if she can feel it, then I just wanted to normalize that feeling for myself as well. What almost always worked for me is to challenge my self doubts. So for example, demand evidence for the accusations that your mind is putting you through. Very basic example. If I think I won't be able to do something, I always ask myself, what facts am I basing it on? Is this thought really true? Is what I'm feeling related to a specific situation? How does this thought help or hinder me? Is there an alternate way to look at the situation? This is a very small mindset shift. It's a conscious effort that we have to make to ask these questions. Talking about shift in our mindset, we have to, or I had to learn the power of word yet. Instead of saying, I don't know this, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, try to say, or at least I do it, I say, I don't know this yet. I can't do this yet. I may not be good enough yet. You see, the difference between I don't know this and I don't know this yet has a very big mindset shift, yet opens so many doors for possibilities for me. Yeah, I agree, I might fail. But so what? This will only be a stepping stone for me. At least I've tried something, and I'm basing it on a fact that I want to do this in future again, or I don't want to do this in my future ever again. J.K. Rowling, our very own author of Harry Potter, she got rejected numerous of times. Google it if you don't know about this. You will only succeed after overcoming the challenges in this journey, right? It's important that you give yourself credit for trying. Challenges are chances to learn. Treat failures in personal retrospective to achieve success. They are only a stepping stone. That's Trust me, guys, I know it sounds like theoretically, that it's there are so many good tips, but you have to consciously make an effort to feed your mind these small activities, these small tips. And this is a conscious effort, this is a conscious mind shift that you have to try doing it on your own. I conduct mental health sessions in my company. As I told you in my introduction, I'm not just a test manager, I'm a mental health ally. And I try to promote this logo that the mental health really matters. It is not just a buzzword. People now, recently I've heard everyone is talking about mental health, even though they don't, and simultaneously they give extra working load to their team members. But trust me, if if you are not taking care of yourself, then no one else around you is. Taking care of your mental health is vitally important because it can affect every aspect of your life, from your relationship with your friends, with your family members, to your productivity at work. There are so many different activities that you can do alone or with your colleagues at the beginning of a meeting. Again, it's a mindset shift. Start your meetings with a breathing exercise, a stretching exercise, or even if you don't want to do it something together with your colleagues, it's sometimes just as easy as open your window before a meeting, for some fresh air, after a stressful day, I don't know, before a stressful meeting that you know that you have to perform well in. um, there are also so many apps in the market now. You can look for them at the in the app store, like Calm, like Visa, for your self care. They are self care app which remind you to take a pause, take a break from whatever you are doing, and it's, I mean, it's as simple as that. So ha- um, please do it. I mean, it's just some things that I follow, and that's why I'm sharing with you, with all of you, my tips. Have you also heard your team members saying that? I mean, this is my personal experience. The developers, they come to me and they usually say it's not a bug, it's a feature. And this is a testing joke. I think the testers in the call will understand. We usually create a defect, and the developers are, it's not a bug, it's a feature. I know we all have heard it. I have started using this line on myself now. So, I mean, these bugs that I try to find in myself are my features now, who make me, different than all of you. In short, if I have to summarize this, please be kind to yourself and to the people around you. Offer yourself the same compassion and understanding as you would offer it to a friend, as a third person. Enhance self awareness about your physical, your emotional, and your mental health. Believe that you're the best version of yourself. Last but not the least, going back to our Harry Potter lessons learned, right? I enjoyed one of the conversation between Harry and Dumbledore. It's in the book, it's not in the movie. So, for book lovers, Dumbledore says, it's a curious thing, Harry, but perhaps those who are best suited to power are those who never sought it. Those who, like you, have leadership thrust upon them and take up the mantle because they must, and find to their own surprise that they wear it well. Our abilities, our strength may come as a surprise initially, but it is important for us to get around that surprising feeling and to know our worth. Start appreciating our qualities, because those are what makes us the unique hero we are. Okay, we are humans. It's okay to make mistakes. One mistake does not define, not even one, few mistakes do not define who we are. It is okay to fail, but to learn from those failures is the key step. I hope this talk has motivated you to share experiences with others, give a helping hand, and make us a stronger community as mental health allies. This is my initiative, my story to create a safe space for all of us and to offer a helping hand and let all of you know that we are not never alone. Thanks a lot for your patience and time today. Thank you. I hand it back to you, Priscilla.
Wow. Thank you so much, Udit. That was so, I don't know how to explain, but it was so calm and serene the way that you were taking the session, right? So it was such a pleasure to watch you, and I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to have it, watch it very live as a host. And the points that you said, right? So every time whenever you're mentioning something, obviously it's a human mind, right? So some similar incident was popping in my mind as well. And one thing which I was very strongly that I could resonate is like accepting the compliments. We are so bad at it, right? And we know that we have done such amazing things, but inside, some we call something like, we are so humble and we call ourselves crazy, and we'll be like, oh, it's okay, no, that was not a great deal, that's okay, that's okay. But as you said, we should start agreeing. Yes, thank you so much, yeah. And then maybe we might not take it to an extent, like maybe that shouldn't make you kind of a egoistic person. But as you said, like, that is something even I should start doing, Udita. Like, when people compliment, I should genuinely accept that compliment first, instead of self doubting me. Oh, what did I did that much? Maybe they are just bluffing. In that aspect, I shouldn't take it. If they are saying it, something that they are meant to say it, and as an audience, like, they liked it, and I have to accept that first, right? So that was so good. And the second thing which I loved it about, like, normalize that imposter syndrome feeling, because we all think like we are all aliens. Oh my god, I'm someone who is thinking so bad about myself, and as you said, like, we are not even normalizing that feeling. So that is something I think we all have to start doing about it. And then another thing, as you said, like, I don't know how many people could relate the way, like, how you were relating the incidents of Harry Potter with the imposter syndrome. That was so beautiful, like, as you said, either it is a book lover or people who are so crazy towards Harry Potter. I think they might definitely love this, and I'm so sure that they'll enjoy the entire talk. And another favorite thing which I could quote it out from this talk of yours is like mindfulness. As you said, there are a lot of apps helping out, and even our smartwatches are encouraging us to do mindfulness for a few minutes a day, right? So that is something which is be very helpful for us. And of course, as you said, like, I just wanted to quote it out a few of the quotes that which you said on the fly, because you were so good in the flow. But I was just capturing few of the things that you mentioned. So one is about, like, believe that you are your best version of yourself, right? I believe like everyone should imprint this statement in our mind first, right? So that was so good. And the last one is about mistakes don't make you, because obviously all the mistakes, small or big, or the number of mistakes that you do, that doesn't define yourself, right? So it's just a mistake. That's why we have named it as mistake, and that doesn't define all of us. So that was so beautifully summed up, Brita, and I really enjoyed walking, like, just watching through you. And I believe, I'm so sure our audience would also have enjoyed, and even people who couldn't join, I know that they can really watch it over YouTube. So let me just go through if they have some questions. So we have asked the audience if they have some questions, but before that, maybe I might just ask you something, Mick, because we need to hear a lot from you.
Yes, please.
I think I have a lot to extract from you, girl, like, because you have so much. And as you said, like, advocating for mental health is something that we all need to start doing it for ourselves. And thank you so much for doing that initiative. And since you mentioned about some apps, like, it'll be great if you just mention the name of some apps which could help us in this mindfulness or some meditation related things. Maybe we'll just share it with our audience. They can, either it is free or premium version, they can just go and try it out.
Definitely. So I think the two app that there are so many apps, but before I start talking about them, let me silence my imposter syndrome. Thank you, Priscilla, for appreciating my effort. This was a very small duration to talk about such important topic. That's why it's a platform. It's just first talk. You guys can reach out to me. You connect with me, connect with Nitin, connect with Priscilla. They are doing a great job with Synapse. I mean, reach out to us if you want to discuss anything that troubles you. It's a safe space. That's why we started with an activity where we said, how
Mm,
are you feeling? It's important to acknowledge our emotions, and only then the other steps come through, right? About your question, Sarah, coming back to that. So, two apps that I personally have downloaded and used are
okay.
CALM, Calm. So it's easy to remember. It's just called Calm app. It gives you like basically sort of a reminder, meditation reminders. They time
Okay.
box it for you, and they see if your mind is being, I mean, it's not like a smartwatch where
Mm-hmm.
they know that you are excessively working. You have to explicitly go in and set some
Okay.
reminders for yourself, but it gives you that opportunity to say, okay,
Mm.
meditate, or okay, please take some time out for your from your
Okay.
busy day out. And in the night, I mean, before going to sleep, you have an opportunity to also put
Mm.
some good music. So they have some inbuilt music in the background. You can
Mm.
always put it, and then do some meditation, breathing exercises. They have some also good breathing exercises, which they say, which they recommend. I mean, so there are so many other things that you can follow. And then the other app that I know is WYSA. It's called Visa. It's also similar to
Okay.
Calm. again, it gives you so many other mental health activities. So I divide the mental health activity into three parts, which I do with my team: body,
Okay.
mind, and soul. So body is whenever we are in a meeting, we do like a stretching exercise or a breathing exercise,
Mm.
or I don't know, um, open your window, just take a
Okay.
fresh air in. Mind is basically we play sort of small games which trigger some thoughts in us. So it could be as simple as, I don't know, share a fun fact about yourself. So I mean, share a fun fact about your colleagues. So it's like, do you even know your team members? And then the third part is the soul one, where the soul is basically you appreciate someone, because we are humans and we don't hear it that often from each other, where we say, ah, you did
Mm.
a good job. We try to pinpoint negative feedbacks more often than giving a positive
Okay.
feedback. So the soul activity actually focuses on giving a feedback to your colleague, one colleague, like in a circle. So we start from a circular group, we try, one person gives a feedback to another, and then the chain
Okay.
follows on.
Okay.
These are just some very basic examples that at least I
Okay.
try to
That's
follow.
nice. That's nice. Thank you so much for sharing them. Maybe, yeah. So I think can share to our audience as well. So just to add on with it, I remember using Headspace some time back ago. Maybe I don't know, like maybe right now they have some paid subscription. I was using a free version some time back. I remember using Headspace, and if anyone is using Netflix, I have just watched a few of the series from Headspace. If you just go and search as Headspace, they have some guide to mindfulness and meditation, and those videos and the pictures that the illustrations that they have used will be very good to watch, and the voice will also be very soothing. So many times if I feel so kind of restlessness, I usually download it and I'll just hear it in my headset and I'll just try to go to sleep. So you can just try Headspace as well if you're interested, and thank you so much for your suggestions, Rita. And maybe the second question. So we have another feedback as well from Nishita. I would like to read out for you. Thanks, Udita. Beautifully expressed the imposter syndrome and connecting it with Potter series made it totally relatable and relevant. Extremely motivating talk. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Nishita.
thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Nisha.
Yeah, that's lovely. And maybe another question from I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to ask. So when you said about like accepting all those compliments, right? So how do you handle it, Udita? Like in real time, you know that maybe you can share me an example, like version before and after, like before becoming a mental health expert, like how you were handling all those things before, and now, like now currently after getting to know about this imposter syndrome and getting to know a lot about and being an advocate of mental health, like how do you handle that right now?
Okay, so as I said, it was a conscious effort. You notice it just now, Priscilla. I initially, when as soon as you asked me a question, I forgot about the appreciation you gave me, and I had to make a conscious effort to go back to it and recognize it and accept it. And that's like a conscious, I don't know, a finger pointing that you have to do continuously in your mind, that okay, you are being appreciated for a good work that you just did. Yes, I can do better always. I mean, the imposter syndrome in me will always be like, yeah, I could have done this, I could have talked about this as well. But then this is just the first session, and I have to consciously make an effort and calm myself down and say, see, everyone liked it and they are appreciating it, so accept it. Um, before before I didn't know about the imposter syndrome, as you said, my initial instant reaction was, it wasn't that good. I could have done, because you know how you prepared it, and you always know that, I could have said this thing better and this thing more, and etc. And so if I haven't have known about imposter syndrome, my reaction would have been, yeah, Priscilla, I'll try to do it better next time, or I don't know, it could have been better. But this time I know I have a big imposter syndrome. I have to accept it, that I did a good job, and I just have to pat my back and say it was very good. So it's a conscious effort.
Okay. Okay,
I
that
hope I
was
answered
a
your
lovely
question.
answer. Yeah, that was so lovely. That was so lovely, and it was on the spot, right? So it was we had a real live example, and you made it beautifully.
Exactly.
You did that. Thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, so for people who deal with a lot of anxietiness today, right, including me, even today,
Mhm.
I just have so much of anxiety. But if you ask me the reason, I don't know. Like I really don't have any specific reason, but I feel some kind of anxietiness and some kind of sadness revolving around. But I know that this is some kind of temporary feeling. So how do you handle that in real time, like when you have too much of anxiety? Like I know other than these apps you already suggested, the couple of apps to practice mindfulness and all those things, but other than that, what are the simple other techniques that you use in your day to day life just to reduce that anxietiness and just to try to come out of that and live in the current situation instead of thinking about the past or the future? Just live in the present. Like how do you do it?
I mean, I also said it in my presentation. I always now started counter questioning my mind. As soon as
Mm,
I get a thought about, I don't know, I'm not doing it well enough. So I ask
okay.
myself, okay, what are you basing it on? Because if I do it for a friend, for example, if you as Priscilla come to me and you tell me that I'm facing this issue, I will be so kind to you, and I will try to understand it as a third person. Why are you feeling it like that, Priscilla? What are you basing it on? Did you suffer something? I mean, have you had some bad experiences with, specifically with respect to this? And usually, trust me, Priscilla, the answer is no.
Mm,
Our mind just plays that games with us because it can. And then
mm,
you have to be kind to yourself and ask, does it really make sense? No, this is not true, what my mind is feeding me currently. So I mean, that's why I gave that example or list of questions that I keep on asking myself. Maybe you get a good answer where your mind says, oh, you failed last time when you were on stage. For example, I'm
okay.
just, for me, for example,
Okay.
last time when my talk bombed, I was like, yeah, last time my mind could give me that answer. Last time when you were on the
Mm,
stage, you just failed at XYZ thing.
mm,
But then
mm,
the next question is, could I learn from that and move past it? And exactly, you have to play these. If mind can play games with you, then you have to play games with your mind as well, and that's how it is. Again, I have to say, with a very star condition, it's easier said than done. I can
mm,
say
mm,
whatever I want to say now, but in my daily life, I also struggle with the similar things that I pointed now during my presentation. But conscious effort, you have to keep on asking facts to your mind, and also. As you said, you were feeling maybe a little anxious today, maybe because you stepped outside your comfort zone and you become a host today, and then you have to silence your
mm,
mind and you said, okay, even if it is my first time, second time, I don't know, third time, I'm doing it better than the last time. So shut
mm,
up.
mm. That's good. That's good. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Udita. I think we don't have any more questions, but I would like to end it off before just moving on to the closure note. Do you have any final words to say to a community, like currently people who are watching, without like they may be happy or sad or whatever mood that they are in? I know that they have made effort to be here, and I believe that they are so fortunate to listen to you today. So, do you have any final words for them?
I just want to thank you. I just want to reiterate the last statement that I said. I It's hard to ask questions on such topics because you don't want to be exposed, or you want to do it anonymously. So
Mm,
this is a safe space. If you think you can't ask any questions in here, there are so many platforms. My LinkedIn account is open. You can always write me a message, and this is a community that we're trying to make for all the mental health allies. Be that mental health ally for another person, just by sharing your story, just by sharing that this is a normal feeling and it's not just one person who's feeling like this. You can motivate so many others. So thank you for joining, thank you for taking some time out. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate your time as well. So, yeah, we'll be sharing her LinkedIn profile. As she said, I can already see that she's so kind, more kind to others than herself. Like, and I think that she's prioritizing people right now. So maybe that was a reason that we had an instant click between Synapse and Udita. So she really likes helping in people. I believe that it's the right time that you can go ahead and reach her if you're looking for more resources. I believe that'll be definitely helping either you or the entire community that you wanted to help out to. So, thank you so much for being here with us for so long. And maybe it's just a time for a closure note. So, I'll just go ahead and share my slides again. Just a second. I'm just sharing my slides. I don't know if you could watch. Yes. Yes. So we just proudly wanted to announce that we are being an event partner for the upcoming Softech Asia 2024. We were associated with them for the last year as well with the community partners. So as you all know, Malaysian Testing Board is part of this Softech Asia. They are organizing this. So every year they have a theme and they are organizing it. So this year's theme is more about artificial intelligence and the upcoming, the next generation for software testing, and we have some amazing speakers all over the world with amazing topics. So we are so proud, and we wanted to wish the entire team best of luck, and we hope to see you in the event. And if you wanted to check, you can check the more details here. And finally, yes, we are looking for community champs. Like, if you are interested, if you wanted to know more about helping people, or if you wanted to try something which is out of your comfort zone, we are always here to help you. If you have any interesting idea and if you wanted to join a community, also we would love to have you. So just as Udita said, this is some time that you have to come out of your comfort zone and you have to try it out. So you can just yeah, you can link use this link, or you can just scan this barcode and you can always be part of us. You can feel free to write to us in LinkedIn also, either it's me or Nitin. It's just you, so all we need is you here. And finally, yes, thank you so much. I know that it's a work day, and you were all trying to stay so hard for all of us. And I really believe Udita made all your time worthwhile. And we would always encourage you, just don't stop here. I know that she has shared some of the beautiful resources, and if you need some more, also feel free to reach out to her, and just try to normalize the feeling of this imposter syndrome. It's not just you, it's not just Udita, and it's not just me. All of us, it's together. We are all facing the same, so we are all in this together, right? So you're not alone. So feel free. No judgments here. People are not going to judge you. So just even if you're feeling low or even if you're feeling happy, just open up and just proud enough to say this outside to the world. And thank you so much, everyone who joined, and also to the future audience who are all going to watch it in YouTube. We really may believe that we made all this 1 hour for worthwhile for all of you. And thank you so much, everyone. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Signing off. Thank you, Udita. Thank you.